Hi, this is Monica. Welcome back to my channel, Suds and Bees. Today we will be making mini cupcake candles. To make the mini cupcake candles, I will be using mini silicone molds. I will also be using a CD14 wick. I have tested these candles with various wicks, and I find that the CD14 is the one that best burns the wax evenly. As for the wax, I will be using soy wax 444. I find that the soy wax 444 is sturdy enough for the breading of the cupcake and the frosting. It is not my favorite wax, I'll be honest with you. I feel that there are better waxes out there. This one doesn't hold the scent as well as other ones, but I do still have a bit of it, so I'm going to be using that. In here I have colored the wax with brown, and I am using 8% of sugar cookie. So let's go ahead. Also, regarding the wax, I heated it up until about 185, and I poured in the color at 185, and I poured in the fragrance at 180. Oh, before we pour, we need to put on the wick. So because we are not going to be burning them in the silicone molds, what I like to do is I like to dip the wick. Get it all nice and covered with wax, and then put it right in the middle. Now I hold it there until it dries, otherwise it's going to fall off. I like to hold the wicks wait till it dries. Okay, now I'm going to hold the wick in place with toothpicks. And this is light enough because the mold is so small. I don't want to put anything too heavy on this mold. Let me straighten this guy out a little bit. See, and it's still pretty wet. I should have put less. Now we do want to wait until they completely dry, otherwise they're going to lift off. So let's wait until they dry and I'll be back. Okay, welcome back. The wicks have dried into the silicone mold. So I will go ahead and pour the cupcake portion of this candle. Don't let the wick get away from you. Whatever you do. Okay. The candle's base, or cupcake bread part, I should say, has solidified. It's been about 20 minutes. So I'm going to grab them gently because they're still pretty warm. Put them aside. Here I have melted a little bit more, and I added, I should have only added like 1 drop, but I ended up adding like 3 drops of the Lone Star blue, sky blue. So it's going to be pretty blue. And what I'm going to do, I also added sugar cookie as well, so the whole cupcake is going to smell like sugar cookie. So what I'm going to wait, I'm just going to let it sit here for a while until it starts solidifying, and then we'll go ahead and start whisking. So I'll be back. In about, I want to say another 20 minutes. And the wax has kind of solidified, but it's still pretty soft. So if you can see. So what I'm gonna do is I grab the whisk and I'm just going to whisk this guy. Hold it firmly. And just whisk, whisk, whisk until you get the consistency of like whipped cream. It's a little bit hard to do it on here. I also, if you notice, I transferred into a wider bowl just so it's easier for me to whisk. Always remember, never use your kitchen utensils or your bowls that you use for your crafts. Make sure that you buy separate ones. I got these at the dollar store. I got 3 of them, and I got these on Amazon for I think $7 for 3. So it wasn't too expensive. And just make sure that you scrape the sides because wax will want to solidify on the sides. And whisk, whisk, whisk. And you want to be patient and wait until this is pretty solidified, because if you start whisking it when it's too wet, honestly your arms are going to feel like they're falling off, because you're just going to whisk forever. So we just whisk, whisk, whisk. So this turned a little bluer than I wanted, but that's okay. Now I kind of wish I had put blueberries in instead of cake. And I think that I am at the consistency that I like. You don't want to waste too much. You want to waste the least as possible. Now I do have a spatula. I have to get it. I have a spatula on hand that I use. I have different ones of these. I use some just for my soaps and I use some just for my candles. I don't like to mix them. There's no really rhyme or reason why, but I'm just like that. Okay, put that to the side. Now I'm going to scrape, and the reason I like to use a spatula is because it scrapes all the sides out. You don't have to use one of these, but it just makes your life a lot easier. And I'll put a link on the description box to Amazon where I got these. Okay, so try to grab it all as much as you can. I like to grab one ball as much as possible. Now when you're making a whole bunch of little cupcakes, like I did recently, it becomes a bigger mess. And then you start dealing with time because the wax starts getting harder. So here I'm using just a regular piping bag from, I think I got this at Michael's or online. I don't remember. But it's a very inexpensive bag. So I put this in there, try not to get the sides as much as possible so I don't waste it. Try and get most of the wax, because if you leave the wax on the bowl it will get hard. You may have to heat it up with a heat gun, but if you don't have a heat gun, then it's just a little more challenging to get things done if you don't have, you know, all the fancy tools. Flip it all the way as possible. Put this guy to the side. Now we're going to try and squeeze. That's why I like to put it in as far in as possible so I don't waste that much wax. So we're going to do the best that we can here. Unroll this guy. I roll him so, you know, I'm so used to making soaps, but I don't want my batter to go through, but I guess with wax it doesn't matter. So then you grab your little cupcakes. Make sure they're centered. And then please bear with me, I'm not a great piper. I'm not a baker. Then you start piping. Go all the way to the side. Now don't get too we're gonna say, don't get too piping happy, because we have another one, and that's happened to me where I get a little ambitious. That's the word I'm looking for. And then I don't have any pipe left, any batter left for my other cupcake. And you can always go back and add more, but just make sure you have enough for all of them. And there we go. Now you can go ahead and add sprinkles if you want. Yes, you can use food candy sprinkles. Nothing's going to happen. Or you can just leave it like this. I am going to leave them just like this because they are blue. Or what the heck, we'll just add sprinkles to one of them. I have just regular sprinkles. Now don't go too crazy on the sprinkles. You just want to add just a few. Here, we'll add it to this one. Add a few sprinkles. It looks really cute with sprinkles. To this one I'm adding a little bit of glitter, so it's just not, you know, too blue. Give it some nice aesthetics. So here we have the cupcake with sprinkles and the cupcake with glitter. Now once these have fully dried, I like to wait about 2 days, and then I cut the wicks down short. I leave about like a little half an inch up to there, cut them to there. And to wrap them, what I do to wrap them is I use those treat bags that you find at the dollar store. So I put the cupcake in here, and this one's cut already, and I cut the top. And then I put like a little ribbon. And then I have these guys that I bought, and I put some double tape on the bag and then tape them down like this. So see, they hold when you have the cupcake. And I put my warning label and instructions. And the reason I add these are because when you gift them, people can burn their candle on here. And these are good for both the mini cupcakes and the regular size cupcakes. And that's one of the reasons why I like to use the CD14 wick, is because it goes really well with this size of container where you're burning. Okay, here I'm burning a mini cupcake with the CD14 candle. The first one I made it with CD2, and that was just a big disaster. It didn't melt hardly any of the wax. Here I tested a CD8 candle, a CD8 wick with the mini cupcake, and as you can see, if I try and light this wick, it just doesn't finish up all the wax. So hopefully the third one's the charm. I'm going to keep burning this until the end. I do see a little puddle here, so I'm hoping that this wick is still not too small. If not, I'm gonna have to try a larger one. Okay, so it's been about 3 hours, and we're looking at the CD14 on a mini cupcake. I think we found a winner. Yay! So there we go. You just made mini candle cupcakes. One with sprinkles and one with glitter. Thank you for watching. See you next time.